Man, I am getting long in the tooth. That means old.
I'm aware.
I'm very old now.
You are old.
You're getting older.
I'm pretty old.
But you're not old yet.
I'm getting there.
You have to hit that magic number to get where I can see you old.
I'm almost there. Am I almost there?
You're
Is that the number?
You're almost 30.
Almost.
It's terrible for that. But anyway.
It's been a hard life.
Bands, I mean, when should they retire?
Yesterday.
Should they retire?
Nah.
Or should they not retire? Should they go until they implode or just all die?
I mean, depends. Do they have 401ks? Are they financially prepared?
God, I hope you don't set up like a. That'd be terrible. But I mean, it's actually. I mean, they do all have it. But anyway, so this all came to attention. Just like there's been a few articles popping around that we've read, and it's just then thinking about our favorite bands, and it's like, wow, like it's. And Brad Whitford came out with something the other day, just talking about like our age is starting to become. He's of Aerosmith, is a serious issue with maybe continuing touring because it is. These guys are all in Kiss. Paul Stanley had a big article the other week as well. Just it's being in Kiss is different. It's not. That's not like dad rock as far as so let's go out and do the show. Like they're wearing like 40 to 50 pounds of gear.
They're running around in high heels, platforms,
makeup.
I feel like there's a formula, like for all of the, the taller the boots, the more the spandex, the earlier the retirement. It's like a graph. It's
yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's tough though. I mean, those guys, but like, who doesn't want to see Kiss? I feel like Gene Simmons can still do his little tongue thing in perpetuity.
Yeah. I mean, he probably could.
They could take his head off and put on like a cyborg body and.
You see those hairy gray chests.
Gross. I just felt like some tingles inside, not the good type.
You're like, yeah, I want to see it.
Ugh. Reverse, like when you walk in your parents making out. It's like that type of tingle. I was like, oh, I just died inside and threw up and swallowed it again.
Luckily, my parents hate each other.
I know. I saw it 3 times. You might think I'm a voyeur, and you're right. But
you'd be correct.
Oh God, that was horrible. Jesus. I think my dad was having a good time. The TV was on. That's all I recall. And so the room was fully lit.
It was too much. Back to retiring. Retiring bands. Bands retiring.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, Neil Young and Crazy Horse just announced they're getting back together to do something. That's different. Like they can kind of wander around stage and do it. And like I love these bands. These are all bands I love. Like all these, Then Derek brought up a point like none of them are allowed to retire until the Stones.
Until the Stones retire. So never. They'll never retire.
So maybe never. You guys are so locked into your own Matrix loop.
The Stones are a weird one, right? Because some of the songs you think of them as like just standing up there and they're playing the songs. But then you think about Mick. He's everywhere. He's dancing. He's doing his cool moves.
Well, Mick he's an example of just a healthy diet, healthy working out, and
never doing drugs, no foreign substances. Really clean. Just really
clean, wholesome family living.
That's
just
right.
in your local megachurch. There's Mick and Keith in the game.
Big deal.
No, but he's been on point health wise for like the past decades. So he's I think that stuff's probably left his system.
Maybe, probably.
So like Keith, on the other hand, he's like, I got you. Hold my beer. I'm still
He's
going.
like, don't worry, guys. I'll do it for all of us.
Got this on lock, boy. Rocking the band's like, oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Like the roadies are like, oh my God! Like the 23-year-old roadies are just like horrified. How does he do this?
It's got to be amazing.
Yeah, so it's with Kiss in particular. That's a tough gig.
I don't see how they continue, honestly. That's tricky.
You could like put like rope systems and hold them up eventually because like when the weights are just too much, like they can make
just make them fly the whole. They're just floating the whole thing. They're on wires.
No, it's like all these other bands. I feel like replacing members and stuff, and like there's new guys coming. And it's like, is it?
Well, see, that's a question too, and we talked about this before. Like if you have less original members than replacements, it might be time to think about.
I mean, it's like Leonard Skinner. Yeah, it's like that's one of those weird. Is there anyone original in that band?
Maybe one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's.
And we love Leonard Skinner.
I know.
And I mean, I even love the new lineup, but it is kind of odd. Like maybe you do sort of like what the Grateful Dead, so you have a legacy and you name it different things, and it's Dead and Company.
Skinner and folk.
The Skinner family jam. I don't know, something.
Jamboree.
Something.
It's tricky, but it's. I was looking back at one of my favorites, like Oasis. Like it's funny, like Noel had like a thing the other, God, it was probably a month ago when he was talking. He's like, he's like, I didn't get to see my favorite bands, the Sex Pistols, and and another bands. Like if you didn't see Oasis when you saw us, that's it. So there's something also really magical about a life cycle of a band. What Zeppelin was 13 years, the Beatles 9 years or so.
Right. Eight years, I believe.
Yeah,
8 years, 280 songs.
How is that possible? That's insane.
It is a little bit insane.
That's back when you had like that work ethic mixed with like amazing talent mixed with a weird time in history. But anyway, but I don't know.
So what about this? Like, let's take somebody like John Mayer, right? I feel like we all know him because he's on like TikTok and stuff, right? It's like he's our pal.
He's our buddy.
Right? So since we know him and he's an artist, do we get to see that arc so that like it's fine for him to change and slow down and mellow out, and it's cool because it's like, oh, it's a person and you're seeing their life cycle. So it's cool if John Mayer is 70 and he's playing this relaxed, chilled out.
I guess, and Clapton's done that.
Clapton has done that. He was sort of like the prototype there.
But they're almost like, maybe the band can do it too then.
Maybe.
But that's where a band like Kiss cannot mellow out.
That's what I'm saying. Like and some of that depends on their fans, right? If they're, I don't know.
Well, Kiss brings in new legions of fans every year because there's
and they're coming to see the spectacle.
Yeah, every kid when you see that makeup for the first time, it is like awe-inspiring.
Like you want to see the giant tongue and like spitting blood in the eyes.
Yeah, it's what rock stars. That's the whole idea of like it's a rock and roll show. It's not happy like we're all going to feel good and talk about our feelings.
Right.
There's songs like they have a song called Love Gun. It's about as wee wee. Yeah, it's great.
Crazy.
Watch the movie Role Models and just that one scene where they're talking about where Stifler, that's not his real name, but his name is Stifler forever, where he's explaining like the song Love Gun to one of his kids he's role modeling. It's just just watch it on YouTube real quick. You don't even have to watch the whole movie. But the movie's brilliant. That's one of those great comedies. But it's tricky. So maybe if the band can do that arc thing.
Maybe they can.
Looks like,
I don't know though. You remember when Kiss tried to do like the whole like, we're not going to wear our makeup?
No, we're not talking about that. That's not Kiss. That was a momentary lapse of insanity, and I get it.
They're the outlier. They're different.
That's That's kind of like it's like Highlander the movie series and Highlander the TV show.
TV show was so much better.
Yeah, it kind of was.
It actually was.
I didn't think
Duncan MacLeod is the man.
God, he is amazing.
How much did I want one of the replica swords when I was a kid? A lot.
I've got a Braveheart replica sword in the office for like little people. Anyway, if you have an arc. So look at Pink Floyd. They're not together obviously in the same way. Like David's doing his own thing, but
he, he's had the arc.
But you could see Pink Floyd like now, and it's like not. It's just to see the artistry and the musicianship of it. The Stones is part of like you want to have a piece of that.
Right.
I've seen the Stones. But is seeing the Stones in 2021 the same as seeing the Stones in 1967?
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, but maybe it's not worse.
It's not necessarily worse.
A lot
it's
better.
Just,
well, not the playing, it's just the quality of the audio. Because those early Beatles like recordings were not recordings, but their concerts were like probably really tough on the ears.
Maybe
those early PA systems, ouch. But maybe amazing too with a wall of Oxes.
I just had this conversation last night. Would you rather hear like kind of bland, crappy music in like perfect high def, like really produced audio, or would you rather hear like amazing, talented music with really kind of crappy?
Well, of course,
audio?
That 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. That is funny because that's
another way we've ruined music in society.
Yeah, back when you could pre-COVID when you go to Chick-fil-A, they had really good high audio Wi-Fi popping out playing music, but it's not really good music.
Can't believe you said that.
It's
horrible.
I don't know who goes to Chick-fil-A for the music.
I do. We just go and hang out in the corner booth. All the parents look at me because I'm right there by the play area.
Like by yourself,
really
with your camera.
Just eyes closed, laid back. And
man, I love this place. Got all the babies everywhere.
I hope Christy doesn't watch this one.
Do you like gladiator films?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's a reference.
So there you go.
It's a deep pull. See if you can figure that one out.
Somebody will get it in the comments. That'd be great.
Yeah. So it's tricky. Maybe you can continue. It's also that's their job. There's still the legal battles of what is it? Chris Cornell's band Soundgarden trying to like retain the rights, and maybe they're going to reform. It's like, who knows? Like, do they need to how can they reform without?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Then I have to
No. Go ahead.
No, because like someone who is coming back together, which is like, this is maybe the greatest moment. Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit with the original, the guitar player, the singer. He's
gonna wear those weird contacts.
They've already released press photos of it.
All right.
His outfit is on literal fire. It was like,
what's his name? Like Wes Borland?
Yes.
Of course it is.
So that's a great name too.
It is a great name.
Yeah, it's a great name. And I would have loved to have been a Limp Bizkit, like not because like the fame and money, just because it would have been so much fun.
It would have been fun.
Like just playing that music, like it'd be fun. Run around stage. That bass player who's like on his knees pretty much the whole time. Fun band to be in. But anyway, doesn't anything besides the Rolling Stones and Limp Bizkit, that's serious. But those two can continue forever.
Here's what I think part of the issue is. I think that once you have been to that level, I think it's like a drug. It's really hard to quit. Be like, oh yeah, I never want to do this again. I never want to have people scream at me and like lose their minds over me playing on stage to an arena.
I can see that it would be hard to quit that.
I think that there was a David Gilmour quote I read the other day. He said something like, it's one of those inspirational memes or whatever, and it's he's like, once you have hit a chord and it's so loud you can like lean back into the volume and it won't let you fall over. He's like, that's a really hard drug to kick.
That's a good quote.
I'm paraphrasing. That's not the real quote.
No, but that is something amazing. And I hope I don't mind if they go on forever.
I don't mind.
It's a cool idea.
But even if it's not perfect, I'm kind of okay with it.
It never was perfect. Let us know what you think along this line and these lines. That's it.
I think we're done. We are done. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell so you don't miss videos in the future. As always, we appreciate you hanging out with us. See you next time.